Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and much more. I'm your host Chris, and it is time to discuss Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, we just got the full and complete plot synopsis for the film, and although we have an idea of what to expect, and much of Phase 4 has been leading to this moment, it is nice to have it in paragraph form written out with some pretty important leading details for us to discuss. So we're going to go over the synopsis and what we learned from it in today's video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you love to stay up to date on all this major movie and television news, MCU, DC, and many other popular franchises as we're uploading daily to the channel. Also, don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what project you're most excited for in 2022. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is definitely a big one, arguably one of the biggest films coming out, and we will be discussing it at length here on the channel. Now let's just go ahead and read the plot synopsis that has come out for the film, and then we can talk about what we've learned from it following that. It says, "The door of the multiverse, full of mystery and madness, opens. Now that Iron Man and Captain America have left after a fierce battle in Avengers Endgame, former genius surgeon and the strongest magician of them all, Doctor Strange is expected to play an active role as a central figure in the Avengers. However, using his magic to manipulate time and space at will with a forbidden spell that is considered the most dangerous has opened the door to a mysterious madness called the multiverse. To restore a world where everything is changing, Strange seeks help from his ally Wong, the Sorcerer Supreme, and the Avengers' most powerful Scarlet Witch, Wanda. But a terrible threat looms over humanity and the entire universe that no longer can be done by their power alone. Even more surprising, the greatest threat in the universe looks exactly like Doctor Strange." Now, this is a rather large plot synopsis, and even though we know a lot about what to expect in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we learn a lot from what it says here. It starts off by talking about the door of the multiverse being opened by Doctor Strange. It mentions specifically, now that Iron Man and Captain America, the leaders of the Avengers, are gone, Doctor Strange has a very important role in the Avengers. Now, we've heard from Kevin Feige specifically, the Avengers currently aren't really assembled. There is no group, there is no headquarters. It's a little bit in the air as to what the current status of the Avengers is in the MCU. Kevin Feige explaining basically that they don't exist. Doctor Strange, regardless of this, is a very important part of this team and is expected to have a very heavy central role. But he creates his own problems, and it says in detail here, he uses his magic to manipulate time and space at will with a forbidden spell that is considered the most dangerous, and this opens a door to the multiverse. Now, there is something important to take away from this. It says that he uses time and magic to manipulate and use the most dangerous and forbidden spell. Based off of this description, that's not the spell that he uses in No Way Home. And we know this because Peter specifically asks him if he can go back in time and make it so that that didn't happen, and Doctor Strange reminds him that he doesn't have the Time Stone. But he has a different spell that he can use that will take away people's memory, and it's a good idea. Wong warns him not to do it, he ends up doing it anyway. So this spell that is described seems and sounds a little bit different than what we saw in No Way Home, especially if it does involve time. Regardless, we know that a spell is cast and it causes a huge issue with the multiverse, also mentioned in Spider-Man No Way Home and seen in Spider-Man No Way Home. But moving forward with that, again, this tells us something about Doctor Strange that is extremely important and we already kind of knew. We learn in No Way Home that Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, and that's confirmed again here in the synopsis, but that doesn't mean that he is the most powerful wizard or warlock or magic being. It says Doctor Strange, the strongest magician of them all. So he is capable of being and will probably become at one point the Sorcerer Supreme, which for me tells me that Wong is probably going to die in Multiverse of Madness or shortly after, so that Strange can take the place of Sorcerer Supreme. We know that Doctor Strange would have been Sorcerer Supreme had he not been blipped away by Thanos. Wong remained, and Doctor Strange says in Spider-Man No Way Home he won it on a technicality. So Doctor Strange is supposed to be the Sorcerer Supreme, but it's currently Wong, and Doctor Strange being the most powerful magician makes you wonder whether or not he ever will retain the role of Sorcerer Supreme, and if that means Wong is going to have to get out of the way and maybe die in order for that to happen. Now, the rest of this we've seen in the teaser trailer that came out. It explains that he goes and seeks the help of Wong, of Wanda, and that they together are going to have to take on the most dangerous and powerful villain that we're going to have seen, and he shares the form of Doctor Strange. We saw this counterpart, who's presumably Doctor Strange from a different multiverse, in the trailer at the very end, and he has a full goatee going on. Very ominous looking character, and it's going to be fun to see Doctor Strange versus either this Strange Supreme character, kind of like what we saw in What If, or just a very powerful version of himself from the multiverse. I do want to take a moment here for a little bit of food for thought. I want you guys to consider something. We've had an amazing Phase 4 so far, from WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Hawkeye and the ending that gave us, leading into No Way Home, The Eternals. We've learned so much new information about the expanded MCU universe, and yes, that includes the multiverse, even though Doctor Strange warns that we know frighteningly little about it. But everything that we have learned and seen between the Scarlet Witch using chaos magic, Loki breaking the multiverse, and Spider-Man experiencing the multiverse, it's all leading up to Multiverse of Madness. This is going to be a huge film. It's going to define the future of Phase 4, 5, 6, many other outcomes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and is really going to set the stage for what's happening next. In my opinion, and as somebody who researches and looks up information about this type of information every day, after Multiverse of Madness, there's kind of a wall. We don't know exactly where or when or how the MCU is going to be set up. Whereas with WandaVision, Spider-Man, The Eternals, we had a clear idea of the timeline, what the state of the universe was in. It was post-blip and everybody's getting back together, and it explains that story, picking up the pieces from what happened in Avengers Endgame. After Multiverse of Madness, however, we don't know what the status of the world is going to be. Will we fall into this cataclysmic multiversal war that leads to Secret Wars? Or will Doctor Strange put a nice little pretty bow on the multiverse and we'll revisit later the consequences of dealing or messing and tampering with the multiverse? This does open the door for a lot of also cameos, introductions, and first appearances for new characters coming either from the Fox universe, from the Sony universe, or from within Marvel Studios characters that they have available. Already there are rumors for the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Charles Xavier, Hugh Jackman. We're talking about all sorts of characters. Then you have some of these darker characters, Blade's counterparts like Ghost Rider or maybe Punisher. So many options for different characters or different characters who we've already seen. Tony Stark's Iron Man might have a different actor portraying him. Captain America. Characters we can see on the screen for moments or for a long time. There are rumors of Deadpool showing up, making an appearance. Anything is possible in the Multiverse of Madness because we don't know much about the multiverse. I'm hoping to get a little bit of an understanding of what to expect from the multiverse from this film, as I do believe the multiverse will play an integral part of the future of the MCU. I do not think that the multiverse is going away after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I simply think it's going to be explained, expounded upon, and we're going to learn how it's going to work moving forward in the MCU. But I loved this plot synopsis. I think it was very helpful. I think it gave us a direction and what to expect as we're starting to prepare for what is going to be the most insane film of Phase 4. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section down below. I'm always curious what you guys think. Are you excited? Do you think this movie is going to get as much hype as I believe it deserves? Let me know your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching till the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or entertaining, consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell, and I'll catch you all in the next one right here on Cosmic Culture.